Popcorns, I have a question. Isa rin ba kayo sa mga batang lumaki sa mga educational shows sa TV? Okay, habang hinihintay ko yung mga sagot niyo dyan sa comment section sa baba. We talk about Pinoy pop culture from the past to the present on this channel. So kung bet nyo ng ganitong klaseng content, you're very free to subscribe. So when I was younger, gustong-gusto kong pinapanood yung mga shows na SISNE Eskwela, Bayani, Pop-Parinig, at Hiraya Manawari. Because I'm a damaged child. Ako, I credit a lot of my knowledge and some skills as an adult to those shows. Kasi marami ka talaga matututunan. With SISNE Eskwela, I learned a lot about science.
Ano ba kayo? Kami? Mga molecules. Molecules? Oo. Ito lang ba kayo nakikita sa tubig? Hindi. Lahat ng bagay ay binubuo ng mga molecules.
With Pop-Parinig, I learned about basic math things. I'm a very visual learner, and minsan pag nasa classroom tayo, you really don't have that much of a visual when you're learning about numbers. But sa Pop-Parinig, everything was animated, everything had pictures and graphs and colors, which was really helpful as a child. So medyo namimiss ko siya because I feel like younger kids today, I feel like they're missing out. At kaya ko lang naman to naiisip because of the things that I've been seeing in the news lately. Like one morning, I was enjoying my peace and quiet and my morning coffee, but then I came across these news reports.
Ayon sa joint report ng UNESCO, UNICEF at World Bank on the state of global learning poverty, nasa 70% ng mga 10 taong gulang na bata ang hindi nakakabasa. Tumaas ito mula sa pre-pandemic rate na 57% at resulta ng worst shock to education and learning in recorded history.
Kaya ito nakakaloka for me kasi di ba sabi nila kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan. So can you imagine kung hindi nakakaranas ng dekalidad na edukasyon ang kabataan natin? Okay, so ano ba ang current situation ng education natin dito sa Pilipinas? And this is coming from someone looking from the outside in. I'm not a public school teacher. I don't work in the education sector. But I do have some observations. And napansin ko na parang nag-bubble up to the surface lahat ng factors contributing to an educational crisis nung na-lockdown tayo because of the COVID pandemic. Naaalala niyo pa ba nung lahat tayo hindi makalabas? Like, what were we doing for those however many months na bawal tayong lumabas? And dahil nga bawal lumabas, a lot of students were stuck at home. The schools were closed for almost 2 years. Of course, nagpa-module tayo sa mga students. But the question is, natutukan nga ba talaga?
So it's really a problem, no, na students are coming to school unprepared at various levels and different ages, and they're not really learning what they're supposed to be learning.
Tapos, meron din naman daw online classes, which there were. Pero magpakatotoo tayo, hindi naman lahat ng mga mag-aaral may access sa internet sa kanilang mga bahay. Ang dami-dami nga nating mga kababayan na sa lugar kung saan sila nakatira ni cellphone signal hindi abot. And if they're lucky enough to live in an area na may internet access or na may mobile data, the question now is, meron ba silang computer? Like, can they afford the laptop? Meron ba silang pang-tablet man lang for the online classes? So when we take all of that into consideration, hindi na ako nagugulat when we are faced with these studies na yung Pilipinas rank 77 out of 81 when it comes to producing students who are proficient in English, math, and science. That's very alarming. Wait. Para tayong nalalayo, no? Nasaan na ba yung SISNE Eskwela, Hiraya Manawari, and all of that? Nasaan tayo dito? So, heto na nga. And ako lang naman to, personally. Pero meron akong nararamdaman na lungkot at konting pag-aalala na parang wala na akong nakikitang mga educational programmings on big reach television nowadays. Kasi I was a 90s kid, so during the 90s and up to like the early 2000s, we had those shows. Hiraya Manawari, SISNE Eskwela, ang dami-dami kong natututunan. Not just for knowledge, but they were also really, really fun to watch. And kapag masaya yung experience mo sa pag-aaral, mas madali mo na absorb. So, feeling ko yung genius behind all of that, and that's why those shows were effective, at least to me and my generation, was because these shows were produced by the networks in collaboration with the Philippine government. Yung Sineskwela, for example, produced yan ng ABS-CBN in collaboration with the Department of Education, Culture, and Sports. Yun pa yung tawag sa kanya at that time. Plus, with the guidance of the Department of Science and Technology. And yun din yung DEX. They co-produced Hiraya Manawari, Matinik, Bayani. And based on our research, hindi lang basta-basta ginagawa yung mga episodes nila. A lot of that has to be planned and approved academically by the Department of Education. So, just imagine the kids from that generation. They were always presented with school topics in very entertaining and creative ways. Pero obviously, now in our current era of digital and of course, yung hindi natin maiiwasan change in viewer habits, yung bad part of that is nababawasan and baka nga nawala na completely yung mga ganong klaseng palabas. So ngayon, as a viewer and frankly as a Filipino, I feel like there is this void that is left in creative, curriculum-based media. Pero wait. May crisis nga ba talaga? And the answer to that is yes na yes. Bubuhin ba naman ng Kongreso natin yung EDCOM 2 or the Second Congressional Commission on Education kung wala silang dapat harapin na problema sa edukasyon? So ano nga ba tong EDCOM 2? So, every time na may mga kailangang baguhin or ayusin sa ating educational system, ang ating Congress ay bumubuo ng commission para maresolba ang mga issue na ito. Nangyari na ito dati with EDCOM 1 and that's why we now have CHED and we now have TESDA. And now na meron ng kinakaharap na problems with education, minabuti ng ating lawmakers to form a commission again. At ang trabaho ng EDCOM 2 for this time ay, let me get my notes, recommending transformative, concrete, and targeted reforms in the sector. At ang trabaho ng EDCOM 2 this time ay, let me get my notes, because I don't want to get this wrong, recommending transformative, concrete, and targeted reforms in the education sector with the end view of making the Philippines globally competitive in both education and labor markets in the next 3 years from 2023 to 2025. So clearly, we're in the second year of EDCOM 2's drive to make these changes. And of course, this is a response again to some issues that we're facing. Kasi diba noong 2017, there was a study na sinasabing parang 1/3 lang ng mga Filipino graduates ang actually hireable, especially in the international market. 1/3 lang. So, anong gagawin ng other 66%? So, bringing it back to the educational TV shows, I think na pwede kasi tayong mag-focus muna sa younger audience. Kasi baka makita rin ng EDCOM 2 yung benefit of these kinds of programming to young Filipinos. For me, hindi lang to nostalgia and everything. Meron talaga akong mga pinaniniwalaang benefit to having creatively produced educational TV shows. Una, ang dami pa rin mga kabataang Pilipino ang mga nasa paaralan na kulang ang mga educational resources, kulang ang classrooms, kulang ang mga libro, kulang ang mga teachers. And honestly, right now, ang dami nating nababalita ang public school teachers na nangingibang bansa. Again, that's a problem in itself and maybe that's for another video. Let us know kung gusto nyong videohan natin yon. And one ironic reality din is may mga areas na yung mga resident ni walang access sa public school. But, abot na abot ng mga TV nila via their antennas ang iba't ibang mga channel. Pangalawa, ang TV at ang internet, I would say, ay mga napakagandang platforms para mag-reach out to a big audience. I mean, of course, may mga challenges when it comes to that. Pero, I think that there are still the most effective platforms para mag-provide ng accessible and inclusive learning. Pangatlo, creativity. Alam nyo ba, hanggang ngayon marami pa akong naalalang mga songs from Sineskwela that really helped me with a lot of learning. Mang Victor Espinosa, mag-jogging sa umaga ng pumayat. Can you just put the song over me?
Mang Victor Espinosa, mag-jogging sa umaga ng umayan.
Pero that song was a memory aid para maaalala mo yung order ng mga planets sa solar system. And ever since then, alam ko na yung order ng planets sa solar system. Although, another thing, and that's why I'm very encouraging of like reproducing these shows, is because that information needs to be updated. Kasi poor Pluto has been kicked out. But seriously, there's really something about this creative approach that makes even the most complex ideas very, very easy to understand. Di ba recently nagkaroon ng DepEd TV? And that was good. That was a good effort, especially because everyone was at home. Pero, di ba yung nasa DepEd TV, para lang siyang yung mga lessons sa school. And it was televised. So just imagine if DepEd collabs again with creatives from the biggest networks in the Philippines right now. Imagine what kinds of educational TV shows they can produce. So if you think about it, it still kind of works because di ba ni-rerun nila yung educational shows nung early days of the lockdown kasi there were no new episodes for any new shows. So they aired old episodes of SISNE Eskwela, of Bayani, and that still works. But those obviously need to be updated. So, syempre, marami na tayong discoveries when it comes to science or may mga nagbago ng method sa math at kung ano-ano pa. So, kailangan talaga yun i-refresh. And we live now in a time where digital and just our resources to create content are so much more powerful. So, marami tayong magandang magagawa talaga. So, yun lang naman, lahat ng sa akin. Mahalaga opinion ko. Pero seryoso, bakit ba ako invested na invested? The thing is, I've been working in the creative industry for almost a decade at this point. Pero alam ko down the line sa buhay ko, mauuwi ako sa pagtuturo. And that is because I, and I'm sure a lot of you, still believe in the power and the importance of education, lalong-lalo na sa ating bansa na right now napakaraming pinagdadaanan. Kasi naisip ko that right now that we don't have these updated educational TV shows, it's like a missed opportunity to fight certain factors that contribute to the learning poverty that this country is facing. So mga kapopcorn, kayo, would you like to see policymakers, educators, and media creators collaborate para naman manumbalik ang mga ganitong klaseng TV shows, not just on TV, but sa mga platforms kung saan na tayo nanonood ngayon? Kasi ako, oo. Because I firmly believe that Filipinos and Filipino students are naturally intelligent and skilled. Pero lagi tayong natatalo sa resources and opportunities. So, paanong magiging kabataan ang pag-asa ng bayan kung mismo ang ating mga kabataan hindi natin nabibigyan ng pag-asa? That's a thought to ponder. If you reached the end of this video, maraming salamat po sa panonood. Again, we chat about Pinoy pop culture on this channel. And pwede rin kayong mag-suggest ng mga topics na pwede nating pag-usapan dito. So feel free to leave your comments. But most importantly, huwag niyong kalimutang mag-subscribe sa amin dito sa SISNE Studios. My name is Momo, and I wanna kiss you. Goodbye. Hindi umikot. Hindi siya umikot completely.